Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a gorgeous ring using materials from this box here. It is from Beadingschool.com by Erika Sandor, and this box is a bi-monthly subscription. It is called Beadingschool Academy Box. This box is for the months of July and August 2022, and the theme is called Thetis Treasure. And the version I'm using is the fuchsia version, and there's also the turquoise one, which is the box that's below this one. This one has more stuff in it. So anyways, I'm going to show you guys how to make a ring using this box. And when I first got this box, I thought I would do earrings and maybe a bracelet, and as I started working on the earrings, I ended up realizing that it has been 9 months since I've done a ring tutorial, and so I thought, since the earrings I was working on could be a ring or earrings, I should just do a ring. And so I'm going to show you guys how to make the ring today. Now, when I designed the ring, and I also designed a bracelet, I did it at the beginning of August, and then I got really sick, and I had to put this project on hold. So that is why I'm doing this video so late, was because I was very sick and I was not able to work on videos and stuff, and so I was behind on editing. That takes a lot of time. It takes more time to edit than it does to bead or anything else. So anyways, for this video I'm going to show you guys how to make the ring. The ring is smaller than rings I usually make. Like, for example, here, this ring that I'm wearing today is kind of a large ring. And by the way, did you guys know that I have 75 ring tutorials that I have done over the past 11 years? I'm going to put my beaded ring playlist down there below in the description bar, and this video marks the 76 beaded ring tutorials that I have done, so you can go there and see all the beaded rings that I've made. Now, I will later on be doing the matching bracelet, so be on the lookout for the bracelet. Alright, so I'm going to list this subscription box here down below. If you're watching this and you can no longer get it, it's sold out. What I'm going to do is post individual material links down there below in the description bar, so you can just go and get what you need to make your ring. A lot of you are probably going to have the seed beads, delicas on hand, and you just might need like the other beads that I'm using to make the ring. Now, if you want to make the ring and you have to go buy materials, you might want to wait for me to do the bracelet, because you'll also have to buy materials, chances are, for the bracelet. And there are a few other beads that I'm using in the bracelet that I couldn't use in the ring. Here's the list of materials you will need to make a ring. You will need to cut 3.5 feet of 8-pound fireline. Again, 3.5 feet. You will need a size 10 beading needle. You will also need an 8mm Preciosa chaton, 6 5 by 8mm gemduo beads, 6 4mm Preciosa bicones, 6 3mm Czech fire polish beads, 11 miyuki delicas, 11 miyuki seed beads, 15 miyuki seed beads in 2 colors, so I have the silver and the light bronze. And this is the list of materials I'm using to make this ring. And like I said, I will put links to all the materials I'm using here down there below in the description bar, and I will also link the subscription box. I'm going to start by taking my needle and picking up a gemduo, and I'm going to slide this down my thread. And then I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to go through the opposite hole. So like a U-turn, really, that's what I'm doing, like that. Pull the thread down, and I'm going to measure my tail and find a 6-inch mark. And somehow I'm exactly at 6 inches. That happens sometimes. And I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot here. So over and under once, over and under twice, 1 and 2, bring that knot down. So this is just anchoring our thread in place for us. Okay, so I'm just moving the knot over here to the side so I can pass through the hole like this. Now what I'm going to do is pick up an 11-0, the regular miyuki, not the delica one, but the regular 11-0 seed beads, a 4mm, an 11-0, another gemduo, but I have to make sure that I'm picking it up as the direction of this one's laying as my first one. So look, I'm going to slide this down. See how I'm going through the bottom hole? These are going through, the thread's going through the same hole on both beads. I need to pick all 6 of the gemduos up, but I have to pick them up the same exact way, okay? So I'm going to pick up the rest. 11-0, 4mm, 11-0, my gemduo, going through it like this, so it matches those. 11-0, 4mm, 11-0, gemduo. Again, it's going to lay like that. 11-0, 4mm bicone, 11-0, my gemduo, 11-0, bicone, 11-0, gemduo, and then I finish off with an 11-0. The last bicone is the 6 bead, and then my 11-0. Slide it down, and I now have this, and I'm going to hold it for you so you could see. Looks just like that. Okay, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to circle back around and go through my first gemduo so that I make a circle. Okay, so it looks like this. Now, this is the outer ring, but all of these gemduos are going to flip inward. Okay, you have to make sure that you have the top of them facing up, and it's the rounded side. One side of the gemduo is round and the other side's flat. Okay, so I'm pulling this tight. Make sure you keep tension on this as you go because it wants to loosen up. So I wrap my finger around a thread. I'm going to go through this bead. Okay, and then I'm going to take my needle and pick up a 15-0, a silver one, and I'm going to go through the next gemduo like this. And this is going to close the center up for us. And I'm going to take my thread and weave it down this center hole here so that this bead flips for me. There we go. So see, it's going to go like that. So now I can hold it like this and pick up the next 15 and go through the next gemduo. Again, it's going to flip inward, and you want to make sure you flip it and that you pull it snug. You don't want any slack. Pick up another 15 through the next gemduo. Okay, flip this bead inward. So we have this. Do it again. When I first made this ring, I actually started in the center here, and then I went out to the outside, and then I realized I had to go back to the inside, so it just seemed silly to do it that way, so I reversed it so that we start on the outside and then we go and do all the work in the middle. Okay, so that's what I have now. I'm going to do another 15 through this gemduo, flip the bead in, and another 15, and through this gemduo here, and then pass through the next 15. Pull the tail through, and we now have this pretty pattern. So this stone is going to sit in the middle here, but first I have to create a bezel for it. Now, do you guys remember the Emerald City earrings I did? I took this idea that I'm using for this from those earrings I made. But if you watch that tutorial, I don't know if you watched or not, in that tutorial I used a Czech ring bead that was in the middle here, and I made my bezel for the 8mm chaton off of that ring bead. But here I don't have the ring bead, and so I thought, well, I think I could do that, bezel that stone again, but instead of using that bead because I don't have it, I'm just going to use the 15-0 seed beads. So watch how I do this, and if you did not see that video, I'll have a picture for you. I recommend that you go and watch how I did that, because it was really neat. How I designed that whole earring was really different compared to a lot of other things that I've made, and I feel like I learned a lot when I created that piece. Okay, I'm coming out of the 15 now, and what I'm going to do is pick up 2 11-0s in the metallic blue, 4 15s in silver, and 2 11-0s, just like this. Okay, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through the next 11-0 right here. So skipping over that gemduo, I'm coming out of this 15, skipping over the gemduo, going through this one. You'll see when I pull my thread through. Now see here, I have a little bit of a loose thread. It's this thread here. See how it makes it loose? Pull this thread here tight, and then pull your seed beads down. Okay? Just like that. So I have this little loop here. I'm going to take the needle and go back up through these 2 11s. So what's going on is my thread is catching on to those 15s, to that 15. It's looped around there. Kind of like you would do in fringe. Okay, and then once you come up to the 2 11s, just slide that down, make sure it's tight. Now pick up, this time, 4 11s, or 4 15s, excuse me, the silver ones, and then 2 of the metallic 11-0s, the blue ones. I'm going to go through the next 15, so coming out of these 11s, which is right here, and sometimes I have to bend this a little bit to get through it, and you might want to go through at an angle. Okay, like this. So pull your thread, and there we go, we have another loop. So I'm just going to go up through these 2 11s. Now see how my center is staying tight now? It's because I paid attention to it when I started this. Now slide those down, use your nail to pull that tight. See, looks just like that. This works out so nicely. I'm going to pick up 4 15s again, and then 2 11s, like this. And I'm going to go through the next 15, skipping over the gemduo. So I'm just going to do this all the way around until I come full circle. Okay. Go back up through these 2 11s. Now these 2 blue 11s right here, the reason why I have 2, because that's how many I need for the height of my stone. So if I had a taller stone, I would add another bead. It would be 3 high. And then the 15s here, I have 4, because that's how many I figured, because I had to make this and take it apart. First I started with 3, I thought it was going to be 3. That's how many I need to completely surround the outer edge of this. So if your stone, if you're trying to do another stone, and it is bigger, of course you would use more seed beads. Now I started out with 6 of the gemduos, but if you had a bigger stone, you could do like 8 of the gemduos, and then you would have the 8 15s in between the gemduos. Get what I'm saying? And then because you have 8 is your number, then you would have 8 of the bicones. But I think you would have to maybe increase your bicone size, or maybe adjust your seed bead counts of the size of your seed bead to make it work for you, but this is just an idea on how I design and how you can change this design to work with what you have. Alright, so I'm going to continue doing this little bezel. 4 15s again, and 2 11/0s. Go through the next silver one, 15, in between the gemduos, just like that. Go up through these 2 11s. Okay. Always make sure you go like this. Make sure it's tight. And then we're almost there. 1 2 3 4 and 2 11s through this last 15, up through these 2. Now this time I have 6 groups of these 11/0 seed beads, so I'm not picking up those again, but I do have to pick up the 15s on the top. See, I have 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now I have to close the top, so I'm only going to pick up 4 15s. After you pick up your 4 15s, you're going to want to take the needle and go down these 2 11s, okay, like this. Now, make sure it doesn't get tangled. So that's closed up. Now I have to go back through the first 15. It's right here. So if you look, we have to figure out which side we already came out of to know which side we have to go into now. So there's this 15 right here, okay, and it's angled like this, the hole. See that? The reason why it's angled like this is because I came up the left side. So that means I have to go through the right side of this 15. So I'm just going to go, I'm actually going to go into the gemduo hole because I could see it. And then I'm going to turn into the 15 like this. I hope you could see. Okay, wiggle it. So remember we picked up these 4 11s. We went down through the very first 2 15s, excuse me. We just picked up these 4 15s. We went down through the very first 2 11/0s. And now I'm repositioning my needle by going through the 15 right there in between the 2 gemduos, just like we would normally do, right? Like we have been doing this whole time. So pull this through. Okay, and here is our opening. Now go back up through those 11s again. Okay, the 2 11s. So right here you could see my thread. Now I'm going to go right because I'm right-handed, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a circle, and I'm going to reinforce all of these 15s because they're kind of all like bunched up. So go, coming out of the 2 11s, go right, go through the first 4 15s, and there's going to be 6 groups of 4, so there's those 4 there. And what we're doing is making a thread path here so we can bezel our stone, and we're also tidying this up because it's really sloppy. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this all the way around. Be very careful you don't skip anything. The beads are small, it's hard to see them. And I'm going to be adding 6 more seed beads on the top of our stone. This is going to keep it secure. And when I first designed this, I did all silver, and I realized that I should do the bronze on the top because it'll stand out better and it'll be easier for us to see what we're doing, because I kept on messing up because it's so tiny. So I'm going through the last 4 here, and let me see, have I gone this way? So you could check to see if you've gone by spreading these apart and looking. There's no thread path here. See, I'm not catching anything. So I have to go through these 4, or excuse me, I'm going to go through these, but not all 4. I'm going to go through 3 this time. So see that? Because we're going to be adding 6 seed beads on the top in a different color, and those 6 seed beads are going to make the stone stay in place, because right now this is just going around the outer edge and it's not actually holding them in place. So put your stone in, push it down, okay, so like that. Hold your stone in place, pick up a 15-0 that is bronze, skip over these 2 seed beads here, the 2 15s that are above this row of 11s, and go through the 2 center ones. It might look confusing right now, but once I get going you'll see what I'm talking about. So we're skipping over the 2 15s that are in front of the 11. And when we do that, it's going to make the gold bead, or the bronze, pop into the center, and then those are going to stand out. Okay? As you do this, pull it tight as you go. Pick up another light bronze. Skip over the next 2. So again, right above these 2 11s, skip over this 15 and that 15, and go through the 2 center 15s. It's best to do this at an angle. Okay. And see how it pops into the middle there? Pull it tight. Do this again. Skipping over the 2 above the 11s, 2 15s above the 11s, and going through these 2. I'll show you. So see? Coming out of those 2 15s, skipping over those 2 above the 11s, and then going through the 2 15s in the middle. And it's going to do this. See? It's looking pretty. And you might have to fuss with your stone a little bit. Looks like mine's sitting in place now. Another 15. Okay, so I see I have to go through this bead and this bead. And right there are the 2 that I have to skip over. So pull this through now, and then that bead pops those 2 out. Okay, so I got it now. Pick up another 15, skip over 2, and go through the next 2. We have this. Do it again. Pick up a 15. Skip over 2 and go through the next 2. I'm using my finger to get through, my fingernail. Just like this. Oops. Okay, and there we are. It's those 6 light bronze 15s that's making it stay in place. I went through those 2 15s, remember? I'm going to go through this 15 now, the one that we've been avoiding. Just that one 15 right there, above the 11-0. pull it tight. Go down through this 11. Now there's 2 stacked, remember? One above the other. You don't want to go through the second one, just the top one. Okay? Pick up 1 blue 11-0, 2 delicas, and 1 bronze 15. Like this, and go through this bicone. Now we're decorating the edges. Do it again, but we're picking up in reverse. We're going to pick up a 15 and 2 delicas, but we're not going to pick up another 11-0 because we're going to use this one again. So I'm going to go through this 11 and up through that one there, the first one. Okay, so that the one that's at the base, it's going to be hidden. You can't see it. There's going to be another 11 in front of it. So now I have this, and I just like to go like this and push those beads down because they kind of stand up funny. And then I'm going to pick up a 3mm Czech fire polish bead, and I'm going to go down through the next 11-0, and this fire polish is going to sit right here on top of the gemduo. Sits perfectly. And then pick up another 11-0, 2 delicas, and a bronze 15. Go through the 4mm bicone, in reverse, pick up a 15 bronze and 2 delicas, go up through the 11-0 that I just added in the one on the top. Okay, then I push those beads down so they lay flat. Pull it snug. This is what I have so far. I'm going to do this all the way around. Another 3mm down through this 11. Okay, repeat the seed bead pattern again. So I'm coming out the top. I have to do a 11, 2 11 delicas, and a 15 bronze. I go through this bicone, $15 bronze, 2 delicas, up through the 11-0 that I just added, and through that first 11-0. Pull this, push those beads down, pick up another 3mm bronze, go down through this 11, like that. Again with the seed beads, 11-0, and then 2 delicas, and then a 15-0 through this bicone. So you guys remember a long time ago I created some beaded earrings. They were so petite and beautiful. I'll put a picture up now of what I'm talking about. And those were easy to make too. That's a tutorial. You can go back and watch that if you want. So, yeah, this is just a little bit bigger than those. So if you want, you could make this into an earring, like I said. Now I'm going to go back up. I got my 15, 2 delicas, going back up these 2 11s here. Making sure those beads sit into place. See how they sit up funny? And then a 3mm down through this. It's looking very pretty. Okay, again, 11-0, 2 delicas, bronze 15 through this bicone, and then bronze 15, 2 delicas, up through these 2 11s, so I'm just repeating this all the way around. I could actually fast forward this, but I don't think it'll take too long. And there's not a lot of steps in this project. Another 3mm down through this 11-0. And then 11-0, my 2 delicas and a bronze, like this. Go through this bicone. I was going to do more seed beading on the edge of this outer row, because you know I could go around these bicones if I wanted to. It would make it bigger, but I felt like it was just really pretty the way it is right now, and I was just overdoing it. For it to be so tiny, it has a lot of detail. And I remember this ring here, when I designed this ring, I did a lot more to it than what it looks like right now. I actually had this stone in a different color bezeled in on the top, and I went around those big 8mm pearls, and it was kind of cool, but I saw flaws in it. Like the edges here was really floppy, they were moving up and down, they weren't staying in place. So I decided to take it all away and do it the way my original plan was. Okay, going up those 11s. Right there. Push those beads down again. Here's my last 3mm. I'm going to go down this 11 and the one right after it. Let's see. I think I might be going left. I am. I went through that delica, but that's fine. So just like that. So I'm going to go down through the next delica, since I already went through one, and through that 15 there. Pull it tight, and there we go. It's so pretty. By the way, I did do you know, the bicones back here. If you want, you can do 4mm Czech fire polish beads, but if you do those, you have to do 15s instead of 11-0s down here. You can also do drugs. I actually did the drugs first, but because I didn't use those in the bracelet and I used these bicones in the bracelet, I decided to do the bicones to match the bracelet more. Alright, so now I have to make my ring band. Coming out of this 15-0, I'm going to go through this 11-0 right here. Wait a second, where is, okay, so my knot is over here. That's good, because I don't want to go through here a whole bunch doing my ring band, so that means it's up out of my way. So you want this gemduo here to be free and this one straight across from each other. If you were to come out here, you're going to want to pass through some more beads and avoid doing it right there. Okay, so I'm coming out of the 11-0 seed bead like this, and I'm going to make that ring band. That's a newer one that I've created. It's like the herringbone stitch, but instead of there being a thread in the middle, I put a bead in the middle. Now, usually when I do this stitch, I do it with 11-0 seed beads, and I can do it with an 8-0 seed bead in the middle, or a 3mm Czech fire polish bead. But I wanted to make this ring band really tiny because of how small this is. So I'm doing 15 O's with an 11 O in the center. So you're going to pick up 2 15s, 1 11 and 2 15s. Now, coming out of this 11 here on the right, I'm going to go up through this 11. Okay. Might not look like I am, but I am. So it looks like this. Okay, it's a little messy. Now I'm gonna go through, coming through this 11-0, I'm actually gonna go flip it over and I'm gonna go through the gemduo. And it looks like I have to go through right here because of the tightness of my work. So I'm going to do that. I'm going into the gemduo. See, I'm coming out of the blue 11-0, and then I went through the gemduo like this. Okay. Now I have to take my needle and go down because I had to go up through there because of how tight it was. And that's catching my tail. So now that I'm on the back side, you can see that I'm actually exiting out of the gemduo. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up through these two 15s to match what I did on the other side. Like this. Okay, I'm trying to get this right. Wait a second. I have 2 thread paths there. Okay, I see. So now what I have to do is pick up the same beads again, 2 15s, 11-0 and 2 15s. I'm going to go down through these two. Okay. Now, I have a thread path that's coming out of the 11-0, okay, on this side, but on this side, I have a thread path that's coming out of the 11-0 and out of the gemduo, I think. It's really hard to see because it's so small. So what I'm going to do is I have to take my thread coming out of those 2 15s, go through the gemduo, okay, and of course it's going to make me go through at an angle. So do that. And then go through here and come out the back side. Just repositioning our thread. And then go straight up through these 4 delicas. Like this. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to continue my ring band. I love making this ring band. It's a lot of fun. 2 15s, 1 11-0, 2 15s. Go down through 2 15s. And if you had a hard time understanding what I'm doing, you can rewind it. And if you still don't get it, I've made this ring band several times in previous videos. There's another ring. It was the last tutorial I did. I swear I did the same ring band, but it was with bigger beads, so it'd probably be easier for you to see. But the top was different, so I might have attached it differently. But it was called Isabaro Crystal Beauty Ring Tutorial. I think I'll put a picture up now of what I'm talking about. Anyways, you can go watch that video and maybe it'll help you out more. Alright, so I just added all of those seed beads. I went through those 2 15s. And then I went through the 11, and when you pull it down, it looks like a ton of beads, and you're like confused. It's how did you get all the way down here? But you just added those. Now you're always going to go up through 4. When you come through that middle bead, remember that you're always going to stitch up through 4 beads. Okay, because you added 2, so that's why you have to stitch up through 4. Pull it snug. Again, 2 15s. 11-0 and 2 15s. Going down 2 15s, and when you pull this, all those beads stack. Okay, you want the blue to stack just like this. So then you have to go through the middle 11-0, and then up through these 4 on the right side. Like that. 2 15s again, 1 11-0, 2 15s. I will be fast forwarding this because the beads are so tiny it takes a very long time to make this. Well, not a very long time, but it takes a while. Down through 2 15s. If you want to, you don't have to use 15s and 11s for this. You can do 11s on the sides with the 3mm in the middle. It's up to you, like I've done in the past. Okay, I'm going through that middle bead again. But this is a repetitive stitch. You're doing the same thing over and over. And then up through 4. It kind of looks like we would go up through 5, but it's not. It's 4. Like this. And you guys remember this stitch here, I love it so much. A while back, I did it double the width, or was it triple? I think it was triple. I had 3 rows of the center beads and I had 4 rows, I think, of seed beads. Anyways, it was a ring band. If you didn't see that video, I'll put a picture up now. And if you want, you can go and watch that tutorial. That was so much fun. So this weave we're doing here is the same as that one. I get my 5 beads again. Going down 2, going through the middle bead, going up the 4 on the side, like that. And I'm going to do this a few more times with you guys. Pick up 2 15s, 1 11, 2 15s. Go down the 2 15s on the left. Okay, and then you're adding all those beads on right there. See? And then turn. You're going to go through this bead, which is the 3rd bean down from the top. Did I say bean? So see, we just added that one. We already had that one. We're going through this one. And then you have to stitch up 4 on the right. Again, 2 15s, 1 11, 2 15s. Go down through 2 15s, through the middle bead, the 3rd one, down from the top here, 1 2 3, and then stitch up through 4. Okay, and just keep going. I kept on going, and now I'm going to wrap it around my finger, and make sure that it fits. So you just want to go like this, and it does. See, so straight across, that's where my band will be attached. So now what I'm going to do, and I don't remember doing it like this before with the 11/0 seed beads and 3mm that I did for the center. I'm going to hold my ring like this. Okay, I'm going to attach my ring band to this side over here. My thread is on the right side, so I'm going to pick up 1/15, and I swear in the past that I used to pick up 2. This one, straight across. Okay, then you pull this and see, straight across, looks normal. And then I'm going to go through this gemduo, and I have to come out the back. I have to go through an angle because it's a tight area. It's not too tight. And then I'm right here. Now I have to make my needle go through the 11/0 this way and come out the center. Okay, so make sure that's snug. And then pick up a 15 and go through these two 15s in the band. Okay, now that's attached, but on the other side we have 2 thread paths on each side. There's a thread that's attached from the 11/0 to the ring band on each side and from the gemduo. So right now we have to make another path for our gemduo. So I just went through 2 15s. I'm going to go through this 11/0 here. Okay, lifting up, passing through. I have to turn it around again because I like working away from me. And I'm going to take my needle, and I have to pass up through 3 beads this time because I only picked up 1/15. Okay, so just like that, 3 15s. And then take the needle, and this time only go through the gemduo, not through those 11/0s. Okay, and I might have to do it at an angle again, so let's see. Yep, so it's gently wiggling it through the gemduo. Okay, and my thread's just on the back side here, so I'm going to make it come up by going through right here. Make sure you go in between this row of beads in here, because you remember you were going through the gemduo, so like that. And now go through these 3 15s. Wait, what am I doing? Is this screwy or is it just me? I'm gonna go through this 1/15 because I need to bring this closer. Like this. Through this 11/0. And then through this 1/15. Now see how this is touching? Okay, so now I'm here and I'm going to go through this gemduo. Okay, and it's going to pull that together. It looks great now. Now it's time to tie knots. And I'm not sure if I want to go this way. I'm going to go through the 11/0. And I'm going in this direction. I know I've changed my direction, but it still works. Okay, so I'm going to tie my first knot right here. And I'm just going to go through right here. Careful you don't catch onto the seed beads right there. Just go underneath. Make a loop, pass through this twice. Okay, I want this knot to fall right in front of the seed bead, in between the delica and the, or not the delica, the bicone and the seed bead, right there. Okay, and I can tie another one here. Yep. I might just go through the seed bead and the gemduo and then tie another knot after I come out of the gemduo. Yeah, so I'm coming through, but I'm going to come back to this because it's too time consuming. So I'm going to go all the way around here tying knots, and if I have enough thread, I'm going to go through this bicone, through this 11-0. I'm going to go down through 2 15s, through that middle 11-0, up through 2 15s, and back through here, come out, start tying knots again, and I'm going to try to get all the way around, go through a few beads, cut my thread off. The reason why I want to go around is because I see this ring band over here. It's not really bad. I don't have to do it, but do you see how it's like there's a thread path here, but for some reason, see the thread? There's 2 there. It's kind of going under the ring. So I think if I did that, it would make it tighter and make it stay out. So with this one, I'm going to put the needle onto this thread. I'm going to go in through this gemduo. Okay, see my knot right there? That's the very beginning. I'm going to go through this gemduo in this direction, go through this 11-0, through this bicone. Okay, so I'll do it like that. And then I'm going to go up through here. And if I want, I could actually go up through like this and tie a knot there, because you can hide knots in delicas, they have large holes. Go up through here, and I'm going to reinforce this little circle right there. Okay, and then I can go back down after I go around one time, and I will go through the very last row that has these 15s because I want to make sure that's strong. After I get done doing that, take your time, be very slow, careful you don't break beads. I always take my time, gently wiggle to pass through beads, reinforce that all the way around. Then what you want to do is you want to go back down, and you'll be exiting out one of these 11-0s. See, there's a lot of space, and you can just tie knots in the delicas and the right here. Remember the thread path that we did where we came down the 11-0, went through that bicone up, right, adding beads, this thread path? You're going to want to tie knots in that thread path where you did that, where we did this outer decorating here with the delicas, the 3mm, and the bronze 15s, alright? So that's pretty much it. I'm going to try it on and show you how pretty it is. It's really cute, and I can't wait to do the bracelet. I still have to do some more work to it, perfect it, and then I'll show you how to make it. But look at how small. It's very small, especially compared to this one. It's a very little ring, but lots of detail, and it's because I did the 15s. So this is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Had a lot of fun making this. I will come back and show you how to do the bracelet, so keep an eye out for that. And remember, I will have the Beading School Academy box down there below in the description bar in case you want to go and get it. And if you can't get this exact one, like I said, if you want to make this ring, I will have links to the materials that I use to make this ring in the description bar. Alright, so this is it. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and follow me on my social media sites. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.